The ledger does not lie. History is written in water, and sometimes it is written in blood. The ocean is not just water. It is the conveyor belt of your existence. Every pill in your medicine cabinet, every chip in your phone, every calorie in your refrigerator, it all floats on a thin layer of salt water. And for the last 50 years, you assumed that water was safe. You assumed the lanes were open. You assumed the goods would arrive. You were wrong. We are watching the sensors blink red. The just-in-time delivery system, the greatest magic trick of the modern economy, is about to face the laws of physics. It is not a delay. It is a cardiac arrest. The arteries of the world are clogging, and the heart of the system, the consumer, is about to feel the pain. Welcome to the reality the news anchors are too afraid to describe. They talk about supply chain hiccups. They talk about transitory friction. I am here to talk about the math of starvation. I'm here to talk about the kinetic trap that just snapped shut around the throat of global trade. The ghost of 1956. To understand the trap we are in today, you must look back. You must look at the ledger of history. Go back to 1956, the Suez Crisis. It was not just a war over a canal. It was the moment an empire died. Great Britain thought it controlled the choke points. They thought the Royal Navy was the law. But when the canal was closed, when the oil stopped flowing, the pound sterling collapsed. The illusion of power evaporated overnight. The British public woke up to rationing. They woke up to a world where their currency couldn't buy fuel. Why? Because the physics of the supply chain trumps the promises of politicians. You cannot print oil. You cannot print a safe passage through a war zone. When the canal closes, the standard of living collapses. It is a law of nature. Fast forward to today, the geometry is identical. The hubris is identical. And the outcome, the mathematical certainty of the collapse will be identical. But this time, it is not just the British Empire at risk. It is the entire globalist model of consumption. It is your Walmart shelf. It is your gas pump, the desperate gamble. We are tracking a signal that defies logic. It defies the instinct of self-preservation. The data coming from the maritime tracking systems confirms a shift that reeks of desperation. The great titans of the sea, the massive Western shipping conglomerates are turning their ships around. They are abandoning the long route around Africa. They are steering the steel leviathans back into the kill zone, back into the Red Sea, back into the range of the kinetic actors who control the strait. Why? Why would a CEO risk a billion-dollar vessel? Why would an insurance actuary sign off on a voyage into a live fire zone? Is it bravery? No. It is bankruptcy. The math of the long route has failed. Going around the Cape of Good Hope takes too long. It burns too much fuel. It ties up too much capital. The system is so leveraged, so thin, so fragile that it cannot survive a 2-week delay. So they have no choice. They are being forced to play Russian roulette with your supply chain. They are betting the ship. Literally, they are betting that the missiles won't fly. They are betting that the mechanism of deterrence still works. But the intelligence suggests otherwise. The signals from the strait are not signals of peace. They are signals of a trap. The structural return to this choke point is not a sign of safety. It is a sign that the alternative routes have collapsed. They are walking into the ambush because the only other option is economic suicide. This is a binary event, a coin flip. Heads, the ships get through, and the system limps along for another month. Tails, a ship sinks. The insurance markets vanish. The supply chain freezes instantly. And you, the end consumer, are the collateral damage. The kitchen table reality. Let's translate this maritime data into your kitchen table reality. When I say shipping container, you probably see a metal box. Stop, look closer. That metal box is your life. That box contains the precursor chemicals for your blood pressure medication. That box contains the phosphate fertilizer for the corn in your cereal. That box contains the spare parts for the truck that delivers food to your local store. What happens when that box stops moving? What happens when the insurance premiums for war risk spike by 1,000% overnight? I will tell you what happens. The price on the sticker changes immediately. The corporations will not absorb this cost. They will pass it to you. They call it surcharge. I call it theft. Imagine walking into the pharmacy. The pharmacist looks at you. He doesn't smile. Sorry. He says, "The shipment is delayed. When will it arrive, you ask?" He shrugs. "Maybe next month?" But the price is double. This is not fiction. This is the bullwhip effect. A disruption at the choke point creates a tsunami at the checkout counter. The whipsaw effect is coming. First, the shortage. Then, the panic buying. Then, the hoarding. Then, the price controls. And finally, the empty shelf. Do not think for a second that this is about luxury goods. We are talking about the base layer of civilization. Energy, food, medicine. When the ships stop, the city stops. Most cities have 3 days of food. 3 days. After that, the social contract begins to dissolve. Hunger does not respect political parties. Hunger respects only physics. And the physics of the supply chain are breaking. The kinetic trap. The establishment wants you to believe they have control. They tell you they have task forces. They tell you they have coalitions. But you cannot shoot down a math problem. Here's the math. A drone costs $20. Ling, ling, ling. A missile to shoot it down costs $2. Ling, ling, ling. Lin, lin, lin. The ship it targets is worth $150. Ling, ling, ling. Lin, lin, lin. The cargo's worth $500. Ling, ling, leon. Ling, ling, ling. The attacker can afford to fail 99 times. The defender only has to fail once. This is the asymmetry of the collapse. The gatekeepers of the strait know this. They are bleeding the West dry, one insurance premium at a time. The return of the Western fleet to the Suez is the perfect target environment. It is a target-rich environment. If one flagship goes down, just one, the algorithm of global trade changes instantly. The risk premium explodes. The war risk clause in every shipping contract triggers suddenly your Amazon package isn't free shipping. Suddenly your local mechanic can't fix your car because the part is stuck at sea. This is how the quality of life degrades, not with a bang, but with a tracking number that never updates. The binary impact is the scariest term in economics. It means there is no middle ground. Either we have flow or we have blockage. Either we have low inflation or we have hyperinflationary shock. The central planners are praying for flow. They need the goods to move to hide the inflation. They need cheap plastic from the East to mask the devaluation of the currency in the West. If the cheap goods stop flowing, the curtain falls. You will see the true value of your currency. And it will be ugly. The insider signal, why are they doing this now? Why take the risk in January 2026? Because the Cape route was bleeding them dry. The extra fuel costs were eating the margins. The extra time was locking up inventory. The banking system is demanding velocity. They need the cash to turn over. They cannot afford to have capital floating on the ocean for 40 days around Africa. They are insolvent. The shippers are desperate. The banks are desperate. So they are forcing the captains to run the gauntlet. They are sacrificing safety for liquidity. This is the terminal phase of a Ponzi scheme. When you have to risk death to pay the interest on the debt, the game is over. We are hearing whispers from the insurance desks. The underwriters, the people who calculate risk for a living, are terrified. They are pricing in a black swan. They know that a sunken ship in the Suez doesn't just block a canal. It triggers a cascade of derivatives. It triggers business interruption claims that will bankrupt the insurers. It is 2008 again, but this time, the toxic asset isn't a subprime mortgage. It is the supply chain itself. The just-in-time model is the new subprime, and the default rate is about to go to 100%. The illusion of stability. Look out your window. The cars are moving. The lights are on. The store is open. It looks normal. This is the normalcy bias. It is the most dangerous instinct you have. The people of Pompeii thought it was a normal Tuesday until the ash fell. The people of 1956 thought the empire was forever until the canal closed. You are living in the pause before the drop. The ships are turning. The missiles are primed. The trap is set. The government will tell you not to panic. They will tell you supply chains are resilient. They are lying. They are buying time. They are hoping you stay asleep long enough for them to reposition their portfolios. Have you noticed who is selling stocks? Have you noticed who is buying land? Have you noticed who is buying gold? The smart money is exiting the paper system. They are exiting the just-in-time world. They are building bunkers. They are buying farms. They know that when the Red Sea closes, the global supermarket closes. The inflationary tsunami. Let's talk about what this does to your wallet. If the ships have to go back around Africa because of an attack, costs go up 40%. If they stay in the Red Sea and pay war insurance, costs go up 50%. There is no scenario where costs go down. The disinflation narrative is dead. The transitory lie is dead. We are staring at a structural, kinetic shift in the cost of living. This is cost-push inflation on steroids, and the Federal Reserve cannot fix it. Jerome Powell cannot print a shipping container. He cannot print a safe passage treaty. He can only print paper. And printing paper into a supply shock is the recipe for hyperinflation. It is the Weimar recipe. Less goods, more money, panic. They will try to hide it. They will use substitution. They will tell you to eat processed sludge instead of meat because it's better for the climate. No, it's because the supply chain for meat is broken. They will tell you that owning a car is outdated. No, it's because the parts are stuck in a war zone. They will rebrand poverty as virtue. Do not fall for it. It is not virtue. It is failure. It is the failure of a system that prioritized cheap efficiency over national resilience. The solution: extinguish the debt. So, what do? Do you sit and watch the tracking map? Do you wait for the news anchor to tell you it's time to panic? No. By then, the shelves will be bare. The time to prepare is when the water is calm. The time to buy insurance is before the house is on fire. You must build your own supply chain. A micro supply chain? Your pantry is your warehouse. Your garden is your farm. Your community is your shipping network. Stop relying on a boat from 5,000 miles away to feed your children. That boat is a target. That boat is a gambling chip in a geopolitical casino. Take your chips off the table. And financially, you know the answer. The antidote to a dying currency, the antidote to a broken supply chain: silver, gold. Why? Because they do not need a shipping container to have value. They do not need a CEO to sign a form. They do not need an insurance policy. They are the only assets that are not someone else's liability. When the paper dollar burns because the ship stopped, when the digital digits in your bank account freeze because the system halted, the silver eagle in your hand is still real. It is tangible. It is kinetic wealth for a kinetic world. Think about the premium at Shanghai. We are already seeing the split. The East is paying for metal. The West is trading paper. When the ships stop, the paper market dies. The paper price of silver will become irrelevant. There will only be the physical price and that price will be unobtainable. You have a brief window. The window is closing as the ships turn back toward the danger. The moral duty. This is not about getting rich. This is about survival. This is about looking your family in the eye when the lights go out. Imagine the conversation. Dad, why is there no food, Mom? Why can't we get medicine? Will you tell them I trusted the TV? Will you tell them I thought the government would fix it? Or will you open the pantry and say, I knew this was coming? We are safe. You have a moral duty to be the fortress for your family. The state has failed. The corporations have failed. The global supply chain is failing. You are the only line of defense left. Do not outsource your survival to a Maersk shipping schedule. Do not outsource your future to a Houthi missile operator. Take control, the direct challenge. Let me ask you a question. Look at your grocery receipt from this week. Look at the price of olive oil. Look at the price of coffee. Look at the price of electronics. Are they going down? The government says inflation is 3%. Your receipt says it's 20%. Who is lying, the math or the politician? Tell me in the comments. Tell me what you are seeing on the shelves in your town. Is the shrinkflation getting worse? Are the boxes getting smaller? That is the shadow default. That is the system stealing your labor. 1 ounce at a time. Don't just watch this video. Go look at your pantry. Count the calories. Count the days. If the truck stopped tomorrow, how long do you last? If the answer is less than 3 months, you are not prepared. You are a casualty waiting to happen. Conclusion, the omega point. We are approaching the omega point. The convergence of all risks, the debt risk, the war risk, the supply risk. They are all meeting in the Red Sea. The event horizon is here. Once we cross it, the rules change. The old world of cheap goods and easy credit is gone. It is not coming back. The pivot to the Red Sea is the last gasp of the old order. They are trying to restart a heart that has already stopped. Jia Yi, do not be fooled by the rally in the stock market. It is the crack up boom. It is the fever before the death. Focus on the physical. Focus on the tangible. Focus on the truth. The ledger is balancing itself, and the balance is being paid in chaos. You have 2 choices. You can believe the lie, or you can trust the physics. You are either prepared or you are a victim. The ships are sailing into the storm. Don't be on board. Buy silver. Buy food. Build your tribe. The system has failed you, but you do not have to fail your family. Do not despair. Prepare. You are the safety.